Hello viewers, in today's class we are going to discuss one very important and conceptual problem from differentiation, right? And here we have this problem that is if f of x is equal to mod of tan of 4x, then we have to find the derivative of this function at x is equal to pi by 6, right? So here we are given a function f of x which is equal to mod of tangent of 4x, and we have to find the value of the derivative of f of x at 30 degrees, right? So here x is pi by 6, which is equal to 30 degrees, right? So what we will do here, we'll first find out the derivative of f of x, and then we'll substitute x is equal to pi by 6, right? So now before finding out the derivative of f of x, let us quickly see the sign convention of trigonometric functions in the four quadrants, right? So suppose we have first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant, right? So here we have 0, here we have pi by 2, here we have pi, and here we have 3 pi by 2, and here we have 2 pi, right? So now from trigonometry we know that in the first quadrant all the trigonometric functions are positive, right? And in the second quadrant we have only the sine function is positive, right? So here the tan that is the tangent function is negative, right? And here the tangent function is positive, and here in the fourth quadrant the tangent function is negative, right? So in the first quadrant all the trigonometric functions are positive. In the second quadrant the tan function is negative, that is only the sine function is positive, right? And in the third quadrant the tangent function is positive, and here the tangent function is negative in the fourth quadrant. So now once we have discussed the sign convention of tangent function in the four quadrants, let us quickly revise the definition of mod function, right? So the mod of x is defined like this, that is mod of x takes the value plus x whenever x is greater than 0, mod of x takes the value 0 when x is equal to 0, and mod of x is negative of x whenever x is less than 0, right? So here we have f of x is equal to mod of tangent of 4x, right? So here I will make use of this definition of a mod function. So we have just seen that in the second quadrant, that is when x is greater than pi by 2 and less than pi, right? So here we see that we have the angle of 4x, right? So when 4x lies between pi by 2 and pi, so the tangent function is negative, right? So it implies that when this angle 4x it lies between pi by 2 and pi, then the tangent function is negative, right? So here mod of tangent of 4x is equal to a negative of tangent of 4x when 4x lies between pi by 2 and pi, right? So now let us solve this inequality, right? So let us divide throughout by 4, then we'll get pi by 8, and here we'll have x, and here we'll have pi by 4, right? Now see, pi by 8 is equal to 22.5 degrees, right? And here pi by 4 is equal to 45 degrees, right? So we have now arrived at a very important conclusion, that when x lies between 22.5 degrees and 45 degrees, then tangent of 4x is the mod of tangent of 4x is equal to a negative of tangent of 4x, right? So now we can redefine this function f of x is equal to mod of tan 4x, right? So f of x is equal to negative of tangent of 4x, which we have written over here when x lies between 22.5 degrees and 45 degrees, right? And here we see that in this problem we have to find the derivative of f of x when x is equal to 30 degrees, right? And see, 30 degree, it lies between 22.5 degrees and 45 degrees, right? So now we can simply differentiate f of x with respect to x. So now f prime of x is equal to d by dx of f of x, right? And we have d by dx of f of x, which is minus of tangent of 4x. And we have now the derivative of tan of 4x is equal to 4 times secant square 4x, right? Because we know that the derivative of tan theta is equal to secant square theta, right? And here we have also used the chain rule, and by chain rule the derivative of 4x is equal to 4, which is written over here, right? So the derivative of f of x is equal to f prime of x, which is equal to minus 4 times secant square 4x. So now f prime of pi by 6 can be obtained by substituting x is equal to pi by 6, right? So now f prime of pi by 6 is equal to minus 4 times secant square 4 times of pi by 6, right? And that is equal to minus 4, and here we have secant square 2 pi by 3, right? So here we have cancelled this 4 and 6 by 2. So here we have 2 and here we have 3, right? So now f prime of pi by 6 is equal to minus 4 times secant square 2 pi by 3. So now f prime of pi by 6 can be written as minus 4, and secant square 2 pi by 3 is equal to 1 over cos square 2 pi by 3, right? And from trigonometry we know that cos 2 pi by 3 is equal to cos of 120 degrees, right? And that is equal to minus half, right? So here we'll take the value of cos 2 pi by 3 as minus half. So here we have a square, and that is equal to minus 4 over 1 over 4, and that is equal to minus 16, right? So viewers, the derivative of f of x with respect to x at x is equal to pi by 6 is equal to minus 16, right?